Nearfall Nation. Say hello to the bald guy. Shooter here, and welcome to the Nearfall Network's 2017 TLC review. Before we get started, I want to give a couple shout-outs. You might know about our Nearfall Network MVP program. Basically, if you like us and follow us on Facebook, subscribe to our YouTube channel, screenshot it, message us, let us know that you were doing that, you can get into our MVP program. That is pretty much, right now anyway, a private chat with the contributors on the Nearfall Network, myself, King of Nerds, High Five and MFer. Mostly around pay-per-view days, we talk about the pay-per-view. During the pay-per-view, we chat with everyone in a private chat, talk about the matches that are going on, but we also do a pick-em. So everyone gets to pick who they think is going to win each match, and we kind of keep records. So the couple shout-outs I want to give. Cody Starkey did set the record for the most consecutive picks correct based on the match orders of the night. He had set the record starting from No Mercy and coming in 8-0 to the beginning of TLC. He did steadily go downhill towards the middle of TLC, with Mr. Jim Vest claiming the picks for the night. He is now on an 8-0 streak, picking perfectly the TLC pay-per-view. So for the MVP side, Mr. Vest, you're the champion and you're the overall champion. For the admin side, or the contributor side, as I like to call us, I actually pulled off a 7-1 pick streak, so I'll take that. And I would have got you, Mr. Vest. We would have been tied. Just the fact that Roman Reigns not being there really threw me off my game, and I thought, there's a reason for them to lose. So I gave it to Miz and the Bar and all them guys. Whatever. It is what it is. So I want to get into the pay-per-view. Overall, a very solid pay-per-view in my opinion. I had low expectations for it, and then there was some craziness on Friday. I was peaked a little bit. I mean, I was a little down that the Shield, we weren't getting the full Shield reunion like I hoped, but I was intrigued to have Kurt Angle returning. And then on the other side, I love Bray Wyatt, but I'm still kind of on the fence with this whole Sister Abigail thing and what they're doing with it. That had me a little concerned. So when I found out we were getting AJ Styles to fill in for Bray Wyatt against Finn Balor, I was like, hell yeah, sign me up. I'll take that any day of the week. So, I want to get into the card, and first, I'm going to do it a little differently. We had 3 women's matches and 3 cruiserweight matches. We'll do cruiserweights first. Cruiserweight, we had a cruiserweight tag. We had Cedric Alexander and Rich Swann against Jack Gallagher and the Brian Kendrick. Guys, look, 205 Live needs to get some eyes on it. I admittedly don't watch it myself, but I also have to play catch up for Raw and SmackDown, so it is what it is. If I had time, I would watch it, because these guys are entertaining as hell. It was a good match, lots of action, lots of spots. They showed kind of why the Cruiserweight should be highlighted. I guess there was some mention after fact. Alexander and Swann won, and I guess they kind of mentioned teaming further down the road, so I don't know. Pardon me. I don't know if that means just on 205, or if that means on the main roster, perhaps. That would be awesome. They can totally hang with anyone on the main roster, not just in the cruiserweights, especially as a tag team. So I'd be totally down to see that, and I'd be interested to see how that would work out. Good match, very entertaining match. The other cruiserweight match, we had our cruiserweight championship. Enzo challenged the champion Kalisto to regain his cruiserweight title. Enzo did regain the title. I wasn't too keen on this match. It wasn't horrible. It wasn't great. It was kind of in the middle. It was just there. It existed. Kalisto's good when he can go like full bore, full blast, high gear, and Enzo didn't really allow him to do that. I don't know if that was by design, if that's just the way Enzo's going to wrestle and like that's his style. I don't know. But I like Kalisto when he can bounce off the ropes and off the buckles and go all around and everywhere. And we just didn't really get as much of that as quickly as I like to see it when Kalisto's in the ring. So, like I said, it wasn't a bad match. It just existed. Probably my least favorite match of the night. So, I mean, it kind of brought it down a little bit, but, you know, it is what it is. I think Enzo's a great cruiserweight champion. I think he's great for the division. He definitely gets more eyes on it because of his main roster fame and his talking ability, so maybe he does help improve the cruiserweights, bring more eyes to it. I don't know. That's the plan, it seems, anyway. So we'll see. I'm going to go back to the kickoff show where we did our first of 3 women's matches. That was Sasha Banks versus Alicia Fox. Very solid, very entertaining match. Alicia Fox has had a long career, kind of a low-key career. She's done some things, won some championships, but, I mean, overall, she's kind of used sparingly now. The thing about Alicia Fox is she's actually very, very good. I don't think she gets enough credit. Is she a Charlotte Flair? No, she's not. But she is a very good hand in the ring and can be asked to do a lot of things. Good match. Banks won, kind of set the tone. It didn't light the world on fire, but it sets the tone to, hey, pay attention to this show because good things are going to happen on this pay-per-view. It rolls us into our women's championship match. Alexa Bliss, Mickie James, both of these women did a very good job. I think they've worked well together since SmackDown, so I kind of expected it to be a good match. I think this was probably the best match between the two of them against each other, where they've gone against each other. For them, it was probably their best match. I enjoyed it a lot. And as always, I'm always happy to see Alexa Bliss walk away with the title. I don't know if this spells the end for their feud. It very well could. Mickie James technically has no reason to argue and fight for another shot, so I guess only time will tell. It kind of was a weird interview at the end of the match. I almost thought Mickie James was going to say, well, that was it for me. Thanks, guys, for all the fun. But she actually said, this isn't the last time you're going to see me in a championship match. So, kind of interesting. Kind of see where that goes. Now, the third women's match, and I really want to talk about because I'm excited about it, was the debut of none other than the Empress of Tomorrow, Asuka. This is her main roster debut, coming from NXT, where she ran through everyone, a 500-some plus day title run, I believe it was, and was undefeated. She never lost on NXT. Awesome. Great booking. She's booked like a beast. She is a beast. I think she's going to be perfectly fine, guys. This is the funny thing. Couple of things, and I will definitely touch on this in Drive-By with Shooter this weekend. I can promise you that. But a lot of people already complaining about the way they booked Asuka, that she should have just crushed Emma right out of the gate. Apparently they wanted a squash match. I don't know why you would do that. You don't need to do that. You can tell the story that she ran through everybody in NXT. She's in the big leagues now, technically. The only person on the main roster that she's, I think, had any play with in NXT was Bayley and Nia Jax, and Nia Jax wasn't there. And Bayley, you don't want her to just crush Bayley right out of the gate, because Bayley's one of your top stars. No matter how you want to look at it, Bayley's one of your top stars. So we're not going to do that. We're not going to crush her right away. So I guess it was a smart choice to give Asuka, not only that, to give Asuka Emma, and to give Emma to Asuka. And not only that, like, they've gone against each other. That was the one other person that she's gone against. And it was a very good match. And it was early in Asuka's NXT career. And I think the idea is Emma's very good. Emma's not quite built that main roster, resume that, say, Sasha Banks or Bayley has. So she can take the loss, and she can do it and make Asuka look good. And that was the point of this. I think both women come out of this match looking good. Emma does not look weak, and Asuka does not look weak either. Asuka looks unbeatable. Even though she didn't squash her, she looks unbeatable. And that's how she should look. She's Asuka. She's been unbeatable. She has not been beaten yet in WWE Universe. So, I like it. It was a very, very good match. Probably my second favorite match of the night, if I'm quite honest with you guys. So, that'll take us to the kind of throwaway match. This was a filler match. We had a few things with Elias trying to sing and Jason Jordan throwing produce at him, which was funny the first time. Then it's like, okay, we're going to keep doing this. Then we got an actual match with the two. It was what it was. You know, again, it wasn't a great match. It wasn't a bad match. It was semi-entertaining, probably only slightly more entertaining than the cruiserweight match, and that's kind of I think that's really a toss-up for me personally. But one thing I do want to comment on is the amount of heat that Elias gets is just unreal and so much fun. Like, he doesn't even, just him being in the ring and he plucks that guitar a few times and the crowd just immediately, boo, boo. It's great. It's fantastic. It's old school heel shit, and it's wonderful. And I love the character. I wasn't so keen on it at first, but they're really handling Elias very well on the main roster. I think they're actually handling him better on the main roster than they did in NXT, which is usually the other way around. So all I know is I want to walk with Elias. Do you? Because I think it's pretty cool. So we'll move into the two main events on the card. In my opinion, anyway. We had the TLC match in Finn Balor versus AJ Styles. We're going to go to TLC first. We had the Shield reunion kind of crushed by this illness that's going around the WWE locker room. Roman Reigns was out. So they give us freaking Kurt Angle. Are you kidding me? So we get the return of Kurt Angle for the first time in 11 years. Now, first of all, the fact that they gave him a Shield vest was awesome. I really wasn't sure if he was going to come out in full Riot gear. And not only does it come out in full Riot gear, but he does the Shield entrance with them. It was freaking awesome, guys. Like, and I'm not going to take credit for this. I've heard it on different podcasts. I know the NIA has said it. I saw multiple tweets about it. But that shit was like something you see on a video game. It was like WWE 2K18. You created a Shield version of Kurt Angle and made a faction, and there they are. Because, let's be honest, did you really ever think WWE would let something like that happen? And not only did they let it happen, they did it. They, like, embraced it, and Kurt embraced it, and that was awesome. Now, the match was kind of a cluster, but the reason that it was good, and it held a lot of, almost to that great point, is it told stories and it set things up. Now, where do we go from here with the Shield and the whole Miz and the Bar? I don't know. I don't know. Are we going to get this further? Get this story going a little further? Maybe. Maybe they do it again. Maybe when Roman's healthy, we at least have a 3-on-3 match. Because there's two other components that aren't going to be there, and we're going to get into that. So maybe we do that, and maybe we get the match that we should have got, and it's even, it's 3-on-3, and it makes a little more sense. I don't know. But it told stories, and I'll get into that, but I want to talk about Kurt first. Kurt returned. I'll be honest with you, kind of scared me a little bit. The guy can't turn his neck like a normal person. You can see that, which in turn means he can't take bumps like most performers do, and that scares me just a little bit. But there were a couple moments, even the moment where he got dumped out of the ring, it looked like his head landed, it looks like he landed on his head on a ring apron. Kind of scary. I don't know. He seemed fine after that. I hope he's okay. We did get a little bit of return of the wrestling machine after he came out, after Braun Strowman put him through a table. Then he comes out and Suplex City, bitch. That's what it was. We got it, the original Suplex City. And then by the end of the match, we got an Olympic Shield Bomb. Okay, sign me up. I'll take that all day too. That was awesome. But another reason that the match was so good was the stories that it set up. We set up, I believe, a full face turn for Braun Strowman, and I think we set up for him to retire Kane. I thought it was going to be Roman. Now it looks like it's going to be Strowman, and I'm totally on board with that, especially if we turn Strowman face. Also, we set up, I believe, Strowman and Miz. Because if you paid attention to the Miz, when they put him in that compactor, the Miz looked a little bit concerned about what did we just do, guys. And in my opinion, it's those little things that if they come to be later down the road, makes all this stuff worthwhile and really shows you the importance of good writing and good wrestlers and good performers who can pull this stuff off and make it look like it should. Like, you pick up on those little hints. Not everyone picks up on them, but I totally noticed The Miz was a little concerned. I think the announcers even pointed it out as well. Like, Miz isn't sure about this. Well, I think it's going to come back to haunt him, and I'm thinking we might get an Intercontinental Championship title reign out of Braun Strowman. And if he can't take the Universal because that's tied up with Braun and Brock, let's get some big names chasing an IC title. Let's get The Miz. Let's get Braun. Let's get Finn. Wyatt, whoever. Let's get some big names in there. I'm all for that. So I like the storytelling that they told. I like the things that they set up. Solid match overall. Really fun and entertaining. And as I say all the time, if you're entertained by it, then it really doesn't matter. Because that's why we watch wrestling, to be entertained. So speaking of entertaining, I want to get into the match of the night. AJ Styles versus Finn Balor. Demon Finn Balor. Holy cow, guys. Last minute, we got this match thrown together. No story whatsoever, which was a complaint of a lot of people. This is something that needs build. But let me tell you guys, you don't need build for this. If you're even the smarkiest of smart, you know the story. You don't need a rivalry between these that was played out on WWE television. All you need to know is that Finn Balor started the Bullet Club. AJ Styles took over the leadership of the Bullet Club when Finn Balor left for WWE. That's all you need to know. Your story's told. These are two former, as they said on the announce team, which is even better. Could they say Bullet Club? No, but they said these are two former leaders of the notorious club. There's your story, folks. Why is it happening? It's happening because Bray Wyatt's sick. And we needed someone great to fill in. And who's the best guy on the roster? It's pretty much AJ Styles. It's not on Raw roster, so we do what we can because we own the company and we move things around. Look, I could go on and on about how great this match was, but I'm just going to say this. For the fact that these guys probably had 2 days' notice, put a match together that was, in my opinion, a 5-star match, what can you say? They probably caught a lot of it in the ring, and they made magic happen. And as a wrestling fan, I can't ask for much more other than to be not only entertained but wowed. And that match just kept me hooked on the edge of my seat, watching that match with bated breath, just waiting to see what happened. I called Finn's win by DQ. Didn't happen, obviously. A clean pin, which I think is good. Finn can benefit from the clean pin on Styles, and it's not going to hurt Styles at all, especially when you consider it was last minute. He had like an 18-hour flight. You can play all that into it if you want to storyline-wise, but honestly, either one of these guys beating each other does not hurt any of them. But the fact that Finn was in the demon paint, I totally get why Finn went over and went over clean. And I love it. And the bottom line, this is not going to be the last time we see this. And this is probably going to be used as a test to see if we can do something with the club and with these two. And I have a feeling this whole mumps thing or meningitis or whatever the hell it actually is going to lead to some big changes down the road for some of these guys. And I'm totally on board. And that ending, oh my gosh, that ending. Can you give me a too sweet? I mean, amazing. This is poetic storytelling that literally got thrown together at the last minute, and I love it. And this is why I love professional wrestling. Overall, I think I give TLC 2017, we're going on a grading scale, probably going to give it a strong B+. No, you know what? I take that back. I'm going to give it an A-. I was very, very entertained by that. A-, really good pay-per-view with a match of the year contender thrown in there. I have to give it an A-. There was only 2 parts where I was kind of in. So, thanks for tuning in, guys. Don't forget tonight to check out the High Five Party with our very own High Five and MFer. See what all this fallout is for TLC 2017. It's coming up. There's a Raw show, Raw tonight. Get caught up, check in, tune in. Don't forget to like, subscribe to our Facebook page and our YouTube channel. And give me a 2. Whee!